Welcome back to the channel, folks. I did it. We have created Hamza Abdelkarim. Sorry if I butchered the name. A lot of requests for this one. Let's zoom in so you guys could take a good look. So yeah, a lot of details and love went into this one. So make sure you show your appreciation. Drop that like. I know I'm asking for it early, but we went deep in this one, guys. This build was not easy to make. You can see them up close right there. Hopefully you guys are happy with it. Let's get into the details. So if you're wondering what avatar I chose, you can see right there. All right, into the player details. So Hamza, that's the first name. Last name, Abdelkarim. Believe it or not,
Hamza.
Believe it or not, the commentary is in the game. He likes to use his last name on the back of his kit. I gave him the number 39. You can also go with the number 43. Maybe you guys are going to let go of Lewandowski. You can give him the number 9. Those are 3 numbers I've seen that he's used before. He is from Egypt. He just signed a full deal with FC Barcelona. He was on loan. Now, I know he was born in 2008, guys, but, you know, 2005 is the limit. January 1st. Moving on to the body, he is 5'11", 165. It's between 165, 185, depending on the source. It's not really going to change his body type, so go with any one of those. Okay, so for the position, he is a forward striker. He is pretty much both-footed, but let's go with the right foot based on my research. But we will give him a very strong weak foot. Now, don't worry too much about his attributes. We're going to get to the stats at the end of this video. I have not created them yet, because the first thing we're going to do is that we are going to go into the basic build, so you can say goodbye to that good looking build. All right, folks, let's do the basic build. For the skin tone, it's number 4. Complexion, number 1. Skin surface, number 9. Freckles, number 18. Nothing for the scarring. There's nothing on the moles, but it's very important that you use rosacea number 6. Nothing on the makeup. We move on to the head. For the forehead, that's number 170. For the jaw, it's 43. Ears, number 268. Cheeks, 203. Chin, 57. Neck, 175. And we move on to the face. For the eye color, it's hazel. Eyes, number 1004. Eyebrows, 17. Nose, number 57. The mouth, number 203. Teeth, as always, default number 3. Don't do teeth, guys. All right, for the hair color, it's dark gold. Hairstyle short, number 21. Now for the eyebrow and facial hair color, I chose warm black. For the eyebrows, 219, S-shaped, low arch, and no facial hair. All right, let's move on to the advanced build. If you want to get there, because some people ask, you press triangle, at least on the PS5. Access sculpting options, you press triangle again. You're going to turn off the free sculpt. You're going to put on the advanced sculpt, and now you're ready to sculpt. Now, the way that I record these videos, I create and then I advance. So he's not going to look the same way that he did at the beginning of the video until the very end, because I'm literally building him right now. You're going to see how his build improves as the video goes on. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus first on the skeletal. We're going to move on to the flesh, and then we're going to do the fat. And then he's going to look exactly how he looked like at the beginning of the video. Okay, guys, let's get going. All right, let's start the skeletal head skull. Moving on to the head skull crown, the skull back, the temples. All right, moving on to the forehead, upper forehead for the skeletal. Now the lower forehead. All right, now the skeletal brows, starting with the eyebrows, eyebrow center, eyebrow outside top. All right, moving on to the skeletal eyes. Here you have the eyes, and now you have the eye sockets. Okay, the skeletal ears. All right, moving on to the skeletal nose, nose bridge sides, nose bridge center, nose bridge upper. And now we have the skeletal cheeks. All right, now the skeletal mouth and mouth outside top. All right, moving on to the skeletal chin and the upper chin. All right, now the skeletal jaw. Now the inside jaw top and the inside jaw bottom. All right, guys, now we're moving on to the flesh. So just, R2 on the PS5. And you move on to the flesh. We're at the head, temples. For the forehead, there is none. Okay, folks, now on the flesh for the brows, eyebrow center. And now the eyebrow gap. All right, moving on to the flesh when it comes to the eyes. We have eyes, eyelid full center, eyelid full outer, eyelid full inner, eyelid lower center, eyelid lower outer, eyelid lower inner, eyelid upper center, eyelid upper outer, eyelid upper inner, eyelid corner outer, eyelid corner inner. All right, now the flesh for the ears. Ears outside top, ears outside middle, ear outside bottom, ear inside top, ear inside bottom, earlobe, ear tragus. All right, moving on to the flesh for the nose. Let's start with nostril upper, nostril upper outer, nostril upper center, nostril lower, nostril outside outer, nostril outside center, nose tip upper, nose tip under, nose tip lower. All right, for the flesh, let's continue with the cheeks. Upper outside cheeks, upper inside eyes, upper inside cheeks, lower outside cheeks, lower inside cheeks. All right, folks, moving on to the flesh when it comes to the mouth, mouth corners, lip gap center, lip gap sides, upper lip top center, upper lip top sides, upper lip top corners, upper lip bottom center, upper lip bottom sides, upper lip fullness, philtrum, lower lip fullness, lower lip top center, lower lip top sides, lower lip bottom center, lower lip bottom sides, lower lip bottom corners, mouth corner grooves. All right, the flesh for the chin, chin sides, and the chin cleft. I didn't change anything. All right, for the jaw, flesh. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the fat. On the head, I didn't change anything for the upper neck. Over to the forehead, you have the forehead center, and then you have the forehead sides. Nothing for the brows. All right, the fat on the eyes, the eyelid upper, didn't change anything there. We move on to the eyelid lower, and finally the under eye lower. For the ears, I didn't change anything, and for the nose fat, I also didn't change anything. All right, now for the fat on the cheeks, upper cheeks, lower cheeks, the jowl, cheeks inside upper, cheeks inside lower, the temples. Okay, for the mouth on the fat, I didn't change anything for any category that has to do with the mouth. All right, for the chin, and then for the under chin. And finally, for the fat, this is the jaw. All right, folks, let's go over the details for the kit. Kit waist is untucked. Kit sleeve, short. Jersey fit, normal. All right, folks, moving on to the boots and accessories. Luckily for us, the boots that he wears is in the game. You can check them out right there. The only bad thing about it is that, number one, the kid socks is average, but the bad thing is that he does wear ankle tape, but you're not allowed to put, for some reason, you're not allowed to put ankle tape on these boots. Now, when it comes to the animations, I put everything to default. If you guys know how he celebrates or he does free kicks, let me know in the comment section. But I did get his running style correct, which would be the medalist, because that's exactly how this dude runs. All right, folks, we are going into the stats. I gave him a 68 overall. Let's get into the details. For the attributes on attack, the crossing is set to 48. The finishing 68. Heading accuracy 72. Short passing 60. I gave him volley 62. And I did give his weak foot ability a 5. That's on purpose because he's both footed. Moving on to the defending, the standing tackle is set to 32, while the sliding tackle is 28. Now for the skill on dribbling, it's set to 65. The curve is 60. Free kick accuracy is 52. Long passing is 54. And ball control 66. Now for the power, shot power is 72. Jumping 74, stamina 62, strength 70, and long shots 58. For the movement, acceleration 70, sprint speed 68. Now for the agility 63, reactions 67, and balance 61. For the mentality, aggression is set to 65. Interceptions, 30. Positioning, 70. Vision, 58. And penalties, 62. For the goalkeeper, diving is set to 6. Handling, 6. Kicking, 8. Positioning, 6. Reflexes, 6. Alright folks, if you enjoy content like this, make sure you drop a like, support this niche. The more you push this video, the more videos I'll make about player creations. It especially helps if you leave a comment in the comment section, so please go ahead and do so. I do tend to reply to all of them. And if you want to go the extra mile, guys, you can become a member. It really helps this channel stay afloat. Now on the upper left, I put a video on how EA can improve player creation, so it will make things easier for me so I can get you more player creations. On the lower left, you can check out a playlist of my live career mode, and on the lower right is a collection of all the player creations like this one, La Masia players, and realistic stats that they got wrong for FC 26. So I hope to see you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace out.